Hello, welcome to Studio Pixel. Today we are going to discuss about the lattice deformers in Autodesk Maya. Now, the lattice deformers is a kind of a deformer that which actually creates a lattice or a cage kind of a structure around your deformable object or deforming object you want to deform. So, let's see how it actually works in practical. Let's suppose I have a sphere and I want to deform this sphere into a different kind of shape, and for creating that I'll use from the animation menu, go to the create deformers, and under the create deformer you can find the lattice option. Now go to the lattice option box. These are the very important one. Reset the settings first. I'm going to go through the general settings that actually the lattice deformers gives you, and then how to bend them and how to use them in a different way. Okay, now first the things are the divisions. Okay, let's forget about the divisions and everything, just apply, hit apply, and you can see that's immediately it's a kind of a cage system that has been created. Now this is the lattice. Now how the lattice actually works, now if I right click on that particular lattice, you can see there are two modes. So one is the object mode, which is a very general one, and another one is the lattice point. Now if you select the lattice point, you can see as a vertex kind of things are actually coming up. Now if you select these vertex or the lattice point, and if you move, you are actually affecting the object that is the lattice is actually bind with. So that's how you can actually produce a deformable object according to your requirement. It's an absolutely free form, so you can easily manipulate the vertex or the lattice points to deform your object. So that's how you can remanipulate or deform your desired object. Okay, that's how the basic of the lattice actually works. Now let's get to the lattice options, which is a very important one. Okay, now first of all, the divisions. Now what is the division? Division means it's absolutely how many divisions you want in your lattice group. Like if I hit apply, you can see it's the two divisions, and in the height you can find 5 division, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that's why XYZ divisions are actually distributed. Here you can actually generally that has been calculated in STU, so ST and U, but still you can calculate them as an XYZ because the height unit is actually Y, which is a 5 divisions. Okay, now the behind the scene I would like to add that actually if I'm manipulating the this lattice point, it already had a hidden base lattice objects, a base lattice structure that is actually cannot be seen, and the deformation, the difference between these two vertex or the lattice point is actually calculating or helping Maya for calculating the deformations. So those are the divisions. Okay, let's get back. Okay, I can change this division even after creation from the attribute editor. If I minimize this and select this and go to the FFD shape, and from here you can increase or decrease your desired STU divisions. But remember that if you already made any kind of deformation and after that you want to change your the number of divisions, it can give you really undesirable results. Like if I select this and if I want to increase, you can see this is an error message, must remove twigs before resizing. So it's a really annoying factor that that after the creation or deformation you cannot change. But the important factor is that it's absolutely inevitable, because this form is actually depending on these structures. So that's why it's won't help you, won't let you change your number of divisions of the lattice. So hope you understand that. Okay, so let's get back to the options also again. Okay, now next come with the, just get back to that, still it. Okay, next thing is the local mode. What is the local mode? By default the local mode is actually on. Now what is the local mode actually do? Let's increase these divisions into 4 and select and hit okay, let's make it duplicate onto it. Okay, apply, and this one I will switch off my local mode and hit apply. Now what is the difference between these two? If I go to the lattice point and if I move, and over there if I go to the lattice point and if I move, you can see that these lattice points are actually manipulating beyond this its local area. Local area means these 4 lattice points are actually controlling only this half, whereas these lattice points are actually going beyond their uh, area of local area, because you can see it's actually pulling the vertex from the lower divisions also. So that's how the local mode is actually really important, that how much deformation you want to distribute, how much smoothness you want to create according to your pull factor of the lattice points. So those are really important, that what kind of shape you really want. You want a very smooth one, or you want very localized factors happening around your lattice points. So it's absolutely up to you, and you can manipulate this according to. So this is the local mode. Okay, the rest of the options are very specific and very easy to understand. I'm not going to very different very in details. Okay, fine. Now next option is the center around the selection. You can really understand that it's actually create the centralized around it's a kind of cage kind of a system, and if you switch off it, what is happening, it's actually creates within that particular object, and which is by default there is no effect of that, because that we have already used an option down there which is outside lattice, the transformation only if inside lattice. So that means this lattice will don't have any kind of effect on the sphere, see, because it's within and there is no vertex within this lattice option. Okay, now if I make this switch off the clear center around the selection and transform all points, and even apply it, if you hit, now you can see you can manipulating the transformation points, because I have say that even if it's outside of lattice, transformation all points. So that means these lattice points will have an effect on this sphere or the deformed objects. So hope you got the positioning factor. The positioning factor is actually directly connected with the outside lattice points also. So I'm getting back to the transform only inside the lattice, and then I'll just cover it up over here from the outside outside of the lattice. What will happen? You can also transform the amount of fall off you want from the outside of lattice structure. Like if I create and if I increase the fall off distance value, so it will actually manipulate or give you an effect according to the 1 unit distance from your lattice points. Okay, so I'm just making the default thing. Okay, now the group thing is a group base and lattice together. It's pretty simple and straightforward, that it will create another group in and you've seen that if I hit, and okay, if I go to the Windows and outliner, and you can see it's a lattice group which is actually happening, and I have a lattice base and a the base structure. I told you that's actually been hidden, that's the base structure of the lattice, and that is the manipulating structure that we actually manipulate um, of the field. So that actually creates a group, and create a group, and within that group you can find the lattice base and the lattice manipulating structures. Okay. Okay, now app auto parent to the selections. Now auto parent to the selection is a very unique one if you want to create a parent child relationship between these two. If I hit apply, you can see that um, oops, okay, oh sorry, I didn't switch on that. Okay, switch on the auto parent, switch off the group. Okay, let's me create the center random selection first. Oops. Okay, now what is actually happening here is you can see if I move my lattice, the sphere, or the deformable objects is also move fine, but if I select the object and move, the lattice will also move. Whereas in general case, if I don't auto parent to selection, you can see that if I move my lattice, the deformable objects will also move, but if I move my deformable object, the lattice won't move. That's a by default one, and you can auto parenting these options. Now this sometimes really handy, and it's also very tricky to use this. I'll show you after finishing these options that how you can use lattice in a very practical way. Okay, so that is auto parent to selection, and right now I'm going to use a freeze transform mapping. Now that is a very important one. Okay, now freeze transform mapping is something which actually freeze these options and won't let you to move. Otherwise, you are moving the lattice group or the lattice shape. So just freeze geometry mapping, hit enter, and now if you select your deformable objects, in this case which is a sphere, you cannot move it outside the lattice. So that's why it's called freeze geometry mapping. So in this case, you have to move your object and the lattice together by removing or translating the lattice cage. So that's where you can use this freeze geometry mapping. Okay, let's give it a, a practical kind of a example from here. Let's make a torus knot. Okay, oops, sorry, press hit J, and oops, still it's 90 degree. Okay, fine. Let's suppose this is a tire, and I want to create a flat tire out of it, when your pumps goes off. So for creating that, I will create a lattice around it, where definitely my transformation is not freezed, geometry is not freezed, and also I don't want my auto parent to be created. So hit apply, and I just have to manipulate the number of oops, okay, I think it's got 4, maybe 5, yeah. Okay, so now I go to the lattice point, select the down points over here, and just make it a flat. Okay, and also from the side views. Okay, So that's the kind of a flat tire I really want to create. Fine. Now you can see if you rotate this, the tire is still flat when it's coming on the road. And if I move my object, sorry, the lattice point, it's also the same. Okay, now I want to create a simple box as my car base. Oops. Fine, kind of something. It's very just a prototype kind of thing. Okay, select the lattice, shift select the object and hit P. So now what is happening, it's if I move or animate something over here, press S and just switch on the mode. Fine. And if I get over here, okay, so I have made my animation over here, the positioning or translate values, and I want to create a rotational value over here. So fine, and I just fine. So here you can see that the tire, or if we don't understand where the okay, these are the selected oops, make a good selection. Yeah, these are the selected tires that are actually right now flat, and whenever they are coming up, you can see it's actually gaining their shape again, because it's won't affecting by the pressure of the entire car. So that's how we can create a flat tire out of it by using lattice. That is a very interesting one, and that is actually helps you to create this kind of effect in your scene. So these are the is all about the lattice deformer that can actually help you to create this kind of deformations in your shape objects or object shapes. So I hope you understand this, and will create a nice stunning effects through these deformers. So hope you enjoy this. Thank you very much, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Twitter and Facebook page to get updated to our next tutorials. Thank you very much.